So, good morning, sir. Welcome on board today, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. How you doing? Thank
I'm
God it's
fine, sir.
Friday.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Happy
Friday.
hour.
Yes, sir. The unemployment rate in Nigeria dropped drastically from 33.8 to 4.1 yesterday.
Ah, I think that's a good news for the, I mean, government as it is. Abi?
Yes.
So, but the job, I've not seen it practically. Maybe they are just looking at it theoretically. But me, I've not seen it practically because there's still a lot of jobless youth on the street. There's a lot of jobless suffering youth on the street. So the good thing now is the government should bring out their data analysis and capture the ones that have not been engaged, the ones that have not been, I mean, given job to do, so that we can know that okay, the old people, the old youths are engaged, or 60% of youth or 70% of youth. I know you cannot engage every youth in this country. So let's know the percentage of the youths you are engaging on the street. And I'm sure they've not captured the whole, I mean, youth. They have not captured the whole employment, statistics, because as it is now, a lot are still on the street, roaming about the street without knowing what to do, without doing anything, without no job for them. So as it is, it's a welcome development as they do that, then back on that.
So, do you think we should believe them on this percentage?
That's what
Because
I'm saying. We want.
the nation is still under a big duress. The citizen, I don't think everybody, maybe they're just adding unnecessary numbers to this.
Yeah, that must have come from
Or this is just
Bureau of
too sudden. It's
Statistics.
too sudden.
It's too sudden, but I think that's coming from the Bureau of Statistics, National Bureau of Statistics, and
Yes.
those ones they cannot be manipulating statistics, for the whole country, because there are some people that will still go on the fact check on what the Bureau of Statistics have brought out now. So to me, let's take it the way they said it until we verify, until we ourselves went on the fact check to verify it.
Okay. The past government promised to fight against poverty. The current government is promising to fight against poverty. The citizens now are even scared of the new poverty they want to fight against, and now they prefer even the previous poverty to the new poverty. Do you think the government has what it takes to change the mindset of the citizen?
Yeah, you see, the poverty we're talking of, it's like poverty and the government, is like a wrestling match, WrestleMania. As the government are saying they are fighting poverty, and poverty is fighting back because the policy is not making them to be able to eradicate poverty. So, I mean, to me, there's still abject poverty in this country. People cannot guarantee a square meal. Some people, as I'm talking to you, have not eaten since yesterday, and they don't know what to eat. There are a lot of them on the streets, and there are some people that are wasting. They have had enough, and they are still wasting it. So, for us to reduce poverty in this country, everybody has to be inclusive. Everybody has to be inclusive, right? Is what you can do for your neighbor, how you can help your neighbor that is less privileged than you. So to me, as we're talking, poverty eradication in this country is not all about government alone. It's about you have been placed, you have been well placed. Remember the less privileged, and it's part of what we've been trying to do on outreach. Now we've been going to the poorest of the poor, right? These are the people that deform. You're talking of the blind people. You're talking of the lame people. You're talking of I mean, just talk of all the people that's the poorest of the poor. That is what we've done. That in Agege not too long, and we still trying to, hopefully, if you still get our hands on some funds, we'll be able to start again. So there's abject poverty in this country. It's just the clothes that is covering people off, and Nigerian government need to do a lot because the governance, the government setting, the government circle that they are pumping money on, those ones are stabilized already. Come to the street and take care of the masses on the street. Create job, create job, multifaceted job for them that people will get engaged, right? And that is when you can say your government is doing well. When you put smile on the average common man face, that is when the government can applaud itself that is doing well.
All right, sir. Thank you for that, sir.
That's it. Yeah.
So, according to JP Morgan on the report on Nigerian foreign reserve, since our 63 years of political independence, the nation treasury has never been looted as that of Buhari regime. Do you think, or why do you think he has not been he has not been taken, like get arrested and get accountable for this?
Yeah, it's been a
Because
norm.
the reserve, they said, is 33.8 billion, whereas Morgan JP said it is actually 3.7 billion
Dollars.
dollars.
Okay. You see the problem we are having, right? Is the law, the constitution that binds us. That constitution has made the president of Nigeria the most powerful president, quotes and unquotes, most powerful president that cannot be questioned after leaving the office, until we start bringing our past leaders, past presidents to book. Say, come and account for your governance, for your leadership. And as it is a norm. If you are going to say you want to arrest Buhari, call Buhari for questioning, then Buhari will now tell you, I'm not the only past president that has moved, that has mismanaged resources like that. So you have to start all over from the advent of democracy, second republic, third republic we have now. That's you have to start from Mr. Obasanjo, President Obasanjo, former President Obasanjo. Then you fall back to Jonathan. You fall back to, or if you want to do it well, you start from the living ex president, military president, I'll say. You are talking of General Abubakar Abdul Salam. You are talking of Babangida. You are talking of retired General Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria. So once you can call them together, this you guys have been in the affairs of this country, and you know a leader cannot be in place and a child, the head of a child, will go wayward. For a leader cannot be in place and allow the head of the child to go wayward. So the issue there now, those leaders, if you want to get things fixed in this country, we still have to involve them. That how do we get to where we are? What are the things that have been wrong that you need to right now as it is? About the refinery, some leader needs questions. They need questions to answer. They need some questions to answer by fixing up refinery that has never turned around. And where are the money? When you give somebody contract, the person did not perfect the contract, the next thing is to refund the money back. So the refinery they have been doing that is not working, they should refund the money back, right? And those leaders, they should remember that some of them are in departure lounge. Some of them are holding up, that they should be repenting now, that the way they rule, the God, Almighty God, will judge them for their atrocity on earth, right? The people are suffering and you are enjoying. Can you be looking at your children suffering while you are living a posh life? It's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. I think we have a lot of callous leadership in this country. That's one thing I would just say.
So, all right, sir. Thank you for that, sir.
Yeah.
So, lastly, sir, Chicago State University clears the air yesterday as they confirmed that the president actually graduated from their school. Do you think this is also a propaganda?
It's not. It wasn't. This
Why
is the
are
second
they
time.
coming up now to clear the air?
It's not. They have come up before, earlier. And some people have gone to Chicago State University to verify, and they saw it the way it is. The problem now is, why are we just beating around the bush? Should be just be a president, for you to become a president of this of a nation called Nigeria, what you need, the credential you need is your school certs. You get what I'm saying? The ones that have been having doctorate degree, that have been having, what have they done? What have they put on the table? Have they turned Nigerian around? Have they turned Nigerian around for good? So it's not all about graduates. It's not all about, you can see a whole professor, a professor in a university that is wayward, that is corrupt. You can see a whole professors that manipulated results, electoral results before, that was sent to jail. So it's not all about academics, all those things. Academics can't, likewise, because you can't put an illiterate into power so that it will not be manipulated. I mean, it will not be manipulated, right? What I would say is capacity that we need. Person with the capacity, an entity with capacity that can make things work for all citizens of this country, not for some section, for some politician. A person that has the capacity, that can make things work, and that has to start from the less privileged people, from the poorest of the poor, not starting from the, that's the problem we always have. Any government that comes into power will always favor the politicians, not the masses. So it's like most of the masses here, we are like follow come. Do we have any regards at all? Did they regard us? No. Because if they regard us, they must have provide data. They must have embarked on data of all the citizens, all the masses. Then look at how we now start settling them to engage them with jobs. But that's not happening. So I don't know. I think that their statistics, the what's it called, National Bureau of Statistics, they're supposed to be providing that, right?
So welcome on board today, Mr. Charles.
Thank you very much.
Your face is looking.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Firstly, sir, J. Morgan said the the Nigerian reserve, the foreign reserve is 30.7 and not 33.8 as published by the Federation. What do you say to this, sir?
Yes, the man have just said the truth, and it's not left for the federal government to come out and tell us exactly the truth. How much is the federal government reserve we are having? So the man is not far from the truth. Maybe trying to tell you that most of the things that the federal government are saying are nothing but lie. They can lie. It's just like in a situation whereby there is a war in a particular place. Federal government will have to go. You as you're a journalist. You know how you guys normally do it. Once there is a war and a massacre or a pogrom here in a particular place, what do you do if it were 10 people that were killed? The next thing that you will tell the whole world is that only 2 people were killed. So there is no truth, iota of truth, atom of truth from your mouth. Even it's like you are following the footsteps of your forefathers, being the federal government itself. So the man have just said the truth. The federal government is not telling us the truth. The money in reserve ratio in Nigeria is not up to that amount. So they should come out and always tell us the truth so that we'll be able to know whom to hold responsible whenever things goes astray. Simple.
All right, sir. Thank you for that, sir. Going forward, sir, Nigerian unemployment rate dropped drastically from 33.8 to 4.1. All of a sudden, do you believe this?
I didn't believe that. How many people in your area have actually told you that they are gainfully
Should
employed?
they tell us how they come
About that. So
about this?
how many people were
percentage?
employed? How many people were employed? When was employment? Opportunity carefully given to unemployed youth in Nigeria? You see, that is why I said Nigerian government, they are nothing but full of lies. They can lie for an Africa. Why would they be telling us that unemployment in Nigeria have carefully been reduced to a certain level that's even you didn't even tell us that there is almost 5% of unemployed youth in Nigeria that you have employed.
Over 100%.
Over 100%. Why are they lying? So sometimes coming out here to comment on what is on paper, you look at it as if the federal government, they are just full of joking people all over. So I don't seem to trust them on whatever they are doing, because When was how many? Okay, the only situation whereby you find out that a lot of individuals were gainfully employed when there's a police recruitment, when there's a military recruitment, when there's an immigration recruitment. These are situations whereby you find out that a lot of individuals will be highly employed. But we are not seeing that. No policeman has been, no any police youth has been employed. No immigration officers, nothing, nothing. But your custom officers are still there. The same people that are there, even the same during Buhari regime, are the same people, line of people that are there. So why are they lying? They should not arrest. They are just full of lies.
Alright, so going forward, the past government the citizen promised the citizen to bring an end to poverty. The current government too is promising the same poverty eradication, and every year poverty continue to rise. And now the citizen even prefer to be in the previous poverty than the future poverty.
That is what we were saying. The government of the present government, and they are not honest, honestly speaking, because we are talking about youth in a situation whereby your the people you think you are governing are not happy with your government. So what do? You bring yourself closer to the people. That is the essence of governance. You bring yourself closer to the people, find out what is their problem. The problem I'm having with this government of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, I'm not even against his government, because everybody comes in with his own principle. So for him to have come in with his own personal principle, what he was supposed to put a lot of things in place. You ask yourself, the cost of governance in Tinubu's regime is too high. The cost of governance in his regime is as high as anything that you can be able to boycott all those costs of governance, so that it will be able to put food on the table of the poor masses in Nigeria. Because you are mainly governing the poor masses in Nigeria here. But look at what are we experiencing. We are experiencing a situation whereby the senators, the so-called governor, you were here a few days ago when the Senate president said to the senator that they should go home rejoice and relax. A certain token amount of money will be sent into the account. Then you ask yourself this question: you are sending them that they should go home. What have they achieved within the few 2 months, or this present 2 months at the office? We have not even seen any sitting. We have not even seen any bill that had been passed. Now you are telling them that they should go and relax. And certain tokens amount of money will be sent into their different account. And this token we are talking about is not even millions. So the government, I am not even happy with the way the government is going, because if the essence of what is going on in a place like Niger, the reason why most of these things is happening is because of corruption. So in a situation whereby there is a corrupt practices in the country, military regime have to come in place. So the reason why most of these people are acting the way they are acting is because when you look at the basis of our military people in Nigeria, they are also corrupt. In those days, like 15 to 20 years ago, when you see a military man, you will that you know that he's a military man. But these days, you see a military man, he will look more or less like somebody that works in an office. So this is not what we should be putting in place. The government is somehow selfish even to themselves. Tinubu can only succeed in his governance if only he can reduce the cost of governance, if only he can bring back the expatriate to his governance. By so doing, a lot of things will be put in place, and there will be what we call checks and balances in whatever he does.
All right, sir. Going forward, sir, the Chicago State University clears the air yesterday as they confirmed that the president actually graduated from their university. Why do you think they are coming out now to say that?
Well, I am not against whoever that graduated from a particular school, whoever that did not graduate from a particular school. But when you look at the story very well, he was telling Chicago court that they should not release his credentials to Atiku Abubakar. Are you getting me? Do not release my credentials to Atiku Abubakar. But let me tell you, your credential could be released to Atiku Abubakar based on the discretion of what? The court. Once the court asks that those things should be released, they need to be released. If not, you're going to commit what I may call the contempt of court. So you should be very, very careful. I don't care however the court or however the universities are doing it. What happens to them when all those things were being required, where we were there, and they were unable to bring all those facts. But now, what? Why now? Why now? It means a lot of foul plays, you know, foul plays, foul things have been played upon based on the credentials. So I am not disputing the fact that the president is not schooled. Yes, he's schooled. But my problem and my takes on that is that what happens now when these things were being required that you should bring on this for long. Even the Chicago could not even come in place and tell the whole world that this young man graduated from our school. But now you are here telling us that he graduated from school, from your university. And the same president is now telling us that they should not release his credentials. If you are not even afraid, if you know that your credential is quite okay and quite, very, very okay, and you don't have problem with that, why should you be afraid in terms of releasing your credentials to Atiku Abubakar? So they should know, the court will know better, because we have a lot of jurists that are there that will know better than I do.
Sir, thank you for that, sir. The naira continues to rise, and it's just going up and down. We don't even know when it's going to come to the right rate. As at yesterday, the naira against dollar is now 920 naira.
Um, the issue concerning naira, sometimes you have to look at the marketers. What happens to the marketer? Mostly the Burundi changer, the people that change dollars, airports and different places. They should be, sometimes you have to hold them responsible, because most of these people are the ones that takes dollar to a high level of prices that we're not even expecting. So, but the federal government knows what to do. If you really want to curtail the prices of dollar, there are some certain things you need to fix in place so that the high cost of goods, and the high cost of importation and exportation of goods will be reduced. By so doing, believe me, the high cost of dollar to naira will be as low. Remember that once a time that dollar was just 200 naira per $1, but today we are experiencing two. If you have a brother who lives in abroad and he decided to bless you with $1,000, you are made in Nigeria. So I'm believing and I'm hoping that Nigerian naira, the government should do the needful so that there's going to be what I would call equilibrium in terms of both the dollar and the naira in terms of individual circulations. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
So that's all from Mr. Charles. And as you all say, you people have here his view on the notion here in Nigeria. Please don't forget to share this our video, like and subscribe to our channel. And again, we'll be here tomorrow to give you the people's review on the Nigerian state of. All right, see you tomorrow.